must be faithful. Rich girl shit. When he paying all the bitch like me bills. Rich girl shit. Real talk though. Rich girl shit.
We're with Veda, Loca with the exclusive today. Hey, we're gonna go over some things though. We're gonna start this off. I want to have a real a discussion before we just get this started. I really appreciate everybody for being here. This is my first podcast, and I have an exclusive interview. I have my friends here and everybody that I love, and I just really want to go into this, and we're going to go ahead and just start talking about some things. Today I want to talk about women in hip-hop and women in radio. So, Sway, what do you really feel about women in radio? Like, what's your take? And with you doing music and having everything that you have going on, how do you really look at... Because she's up and coming artist with Rich Girls Entertainment, which is my entertainment company. She just signed to us, and she's also going to start doing her music. And how do you feel about Expeditiously? So how do you feel about women in hip-hop?
I feel like, first of all, to comment on women in hip-hop, I specifically feel like there's a big gender bias on women.
Still?
Yes, still. Okay. Because for a long time there was like a monopoly on women in hip-hop. For a large amount of time there was a monopoly on music for women in hip-hop until now.
What we could say, what we couldn't say.
And who could go out there. And who was even allowed to go out there? Who was even allowed to go out there and be out there, or what they were allowed to look like? You know what I'm saying? Even still, I still feel like now we're starting to stray away from that. We're starting to have more people like Cash Page, who's somebody like here in the DFW area. She's more like streetwear, like grunge. She dressed like tomboy-esque, and like they accept that. It's cool, but she still wear like long weave and
so do you think that's something that makes it acceptable about how the girls are, dressing now, how they're carrying themselves, what they're doing now to be accepted? Like, is that what
I think it has part to do with being accepted, but I also feel like it has part to do with being able to compete. Because men don't want to hear women get out there and talk about the same things that men are talking about. Absolutely. So if you out there, but if you live in that life and that's what you got to talk about and that's how you coming, then you got to be able to present that a certain way for somebody to want to listen to it and, you know what I'm saying, take it in and all that.
Absolutely. I really, back when I was in hip-hop and in the industry, I went through that kind of bias thing. I told you the story about when I did do my thing with Kiki J and was doing all these different contests, and I won't really say gender bias, and you have to say certain things, and it has to be a certain way. You got to look a certain way. You got to show this. You need to be built like that. You need to get this certain. You need to do that, and it's so much more pressure on women in music, women in hip hop, women in radio.
People are
period.
Saying that the live is not on the RGE report page.
So, I'm basically with this podcast that I'm doing, I really want to direct it towards women empowerment, women being better, women just about women, especially black women, but basically us just empowering each other and not downing each other and looking at somewhere. Just like with Cardi B and Megan Thee Stallion WAP. I really want to talk about that. Yes. I want to go really into the Cardi B, Megan Thee Stallion, and the Tory, like all that whole like situation. Is because we have to be... WAP went number one. It did. It was strategic. They did an awesome job with how they did it and how they marketed it and this and that. And I know we feel like a lot of people feel like they sent off the wrong message or this and that. But hey, what sells, period. Nobody's here worried about, how they get there. They're just trying to get there. But to go into the situation with Cardi, Megan Thee Stallion, and Tory Lanez. Okay, now I'm feeling a little a situation towards a lot of it, because at first I was kind of like, okay, they shot my girl Megan, like I got a problem with that. I want to see both feet. You know what I'm saying? She got shot in the heel. I start questioning things. I'm like, Megan, did the gun drop? Did it go off? Like what really happened? But what I want to say is that she got so discredited because of her lack of responding. When they say she was not responding because of what was going on with the black man, and she wanted to protect this black man that shot her in both her, feet. And we saw the heels. But that's what she said. What's your take on that, Veda?
I think it's because she's a black woman that she didn't get the respect that she deserved. I don't care. It doesn't matter what she thought. If you shoot somebody, that should be taken up by the law.
Period.
No matter what she thinks. If you would have shot Taylor Swift in the foot, you best fucking believe somebody would be in jail right now for shooting Taylor Swift, Gwyneth Paltrow, Jennifer Lopez, Katy Perry, Jennifer Aniston, Queen Elizabeth. Is there any white women I left out?
Kim Kardashian, Kris Jenner,
Chloe Jenner,
Megan
Jenner, Caitlyn Jenner, Kim Kardashian, Kourtney Kardashian.
I looked at it totally different.
If you would have shot any one of those women in the foot, there would have been a price to pay. Period. Boo. Or is it boo? My bad.
And it's crazy how she was explaining herself and telling her story and saying this and doing that and doing this and doing that.
Nowadays, so if you get shot, a man, right, a gang member, he gets shot, right, and he end up at the hospital, right, and the doctor has to take a bullet out of him, right, it is by law that the doctor call the police every time that they take a bullet out of a person. That is the law.
That's the law.
That is what happened? Law.
What happened?
So was there a bullet in her foot?
Well, they said she had to file a police report.
Well,
I believe her.
And I believe her too. But then my question was, Megan, why were you still in the car? You didn't get out the car until the helicopters and the police came, and you was limping backwards, and No,
she said the story was that she got out of the car and she was walking away. And then
when she
shot
was
her.
No. She got back in the car.
And she got back in the car.
Why?
The police was on the way.
Yes. I'm gonna say this to you.
Right.
Just real quick.
Why would she get back in?
I'm just telling y'all.
If you shoot me in my
feet. Listen. No. That's just like you telling a person when a gun is drawn on you, why didn't you do what I would have did? You don't know what you would have did.
Yeah, that's true.
If you are not
That's
there.
true.
That is like women in domestic violence. Why
true.
didn't you leave? Why did you let him beat you? Why did you do this? Why did you do that? You cannot question a person and their why because it's not your why. Period. And it's not what you did.
In psychology, we have this thing.
You cannot.
That we
you don't know. You don't know what they're protecting.
Absolutely.
You don't know what they're feeling. You don't know if they're scared.
That's
you
true.
have no idea what's going on in their head. Because a lot of people watch scary movies and they say, "Oh, I would have ran, my nigga."
That's the first thing you say. I would have ran.
The first thing you say, you would have ran, my nigga.
You would have ran.
You don't know.
And I just and so Tory Lanez dropped his app. Let me tell you something.
I ain't listen to that shit.
I
skip it every time it comes on.
Let me tell you, I listen to
it. Comes on somewhere?
Yeah. I listened to Daystar. I did listen to it,
the Daystar Patterson.
I did listen to the Daystar album. I did listen to the album.
Why? To do your homework?
I did my homework.
I did my homework. You had no reason having a weapon around a woman, period. That you love. Unless you were there to protect her. Unless you're there to protect her, right? Like, don't get, like Drea said, she said she want a nigga shoot her in the foot.
Yeah, she crazy.
That's what Drea said.
Who said that?
But y'all know what's so crazy? Drea is also an Aquarius. Megan is an Aquarius. Drea is also an Aquarius.
Okay, so she also, she said she wants somebody to love her enough
to shoot her for walking away.
To shoot her in the foot.
You ain't going
nowhere. Now, wait a minute, dog. Hold on.
But they said he said dance, bitch.
Let me be honest,
before he shot her.
Let me be honest, though, because I done loved a couple niggas that done choked me and pushed me out the car, too, and I didn't understand it. But I still was there like, girl, you know, he pushed me out the car. And shit.
That's why you.
And I was so confused. Like, I didn't know. You know, like, I just really was.
Because he rubbed them down.
I'm going to tell you what happens, too. I'm going to tell you what happens, too. You start to see the normality of men with black women. It trips me out. I'm going to go ahead and say this because this is the RGE report. How they praise another race of a woman.
Period.
But a black woman. The same women that have to birth your black ass.
Ugly ass.
You don't praise her. You don't have nothing. You get with a white woman, you feel like you got with God.
Period.
Well, don't.
Not all men. I ain't gonna say all black men. Because I have friends that's in interracial relationships, and I love y'all so much. I'm just stating my opinion. But I just kind of see so much of black men that we love. I've never slept outside my race. I've never been a white man. But I think I am. In my 40s, I'm thinking about spreading my royal oats. I'm thinking about dipping in a little this and dipping in a little that.
Swirl.
Because I haven't done it yet. So those kind of things are on my bucket list. I'm going to dip in a little. I forgot.
Yeah, did you say she lied?
But see, I'm just saying, like, but it's on my bucket list. Like I said, my relationship don't work out. I'm gonna dip a little bit.
Oh, you got a man, and you talking about fucking a white man?
See what happened?
So the next card.
Moving right along.
The next card.
It's the RG.
The next card.
She did not mean what she said.
I do know.
So what did you get from Daystar? What did you get from Daystar?
No. I'm saying this. I'm saying that, like, if it may not work out. Right. Nothing lasts forever. Well, yeah. So if it doesn't work,
that part.
And I've been dealing with the same. But I put it on my bucket list. I was like, I'm gonna do, Hispanic, and then I'm gonna do. I got it organized.
Okay, stop where you ahead.
Yeah. What did you get from Daystar?
Change the subject.
What did you get from Daystar? Going right back to Daystar.
So moving right along. So what I got from Daystar is, I really feel like there were a lot of, to wrap Megan and Tori and all them up, what I really got from Daystar is I think there's a lot of things going on. I think a lot of people got secrets. Mm-hmm. I think some people were paid off. I think some people were paid off. I think some secrets being told. And I think people took money, even when you friends with somebody, because this is going to go into a friendship. This is how money destroys friendship. Now, I'm going to talk about Kelsey and Megan. Okay, so, because they're insinuating that Kelsey is Megan's best friend that was sleeping with Tory Lanez first. And Megan was creeping with Tory Lanez behind Kelsey back. And, took him because she's the superstar. But then, so Kelsey, they unfollowed each other. They're no longer friends. But I really feel like Tory Lanez probably paid off. Tory Lanez got money. He probably paid off Kelsey. You see what I'm saying? Like, your homegirl not going to give you $1 million. And then that's where that crazy stuff come into. Something happened.
You said your homegirl not gonna give you $1 million. I said not for shooting.
No, I'm saying I feel like Tory Lanez paid off Kelsey.
But I'm saying Megan definitely wasn't giving it to her if she shot her ass. Bitch, I ain't giving you nothing if you shot me.
So you think her friend shot her?
No, Megan said Tory shot her.
Megan said Tory shot, but see, I mean.
See what? What? You ain't what? You said what? Why you not just the party?
All I'm going to say is that Aquarians in love will go to extreme lengths. That's all I'm saying.
Ask y'all this, and I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna kind of wrap them up. Y'all heard her new song she just released?
I didn't listen to it yet. With her and Thug?
Yes. Okay, so she said something about that, man. Because they say Tory Lanez got good head. Mm-hmm. Everybody, is going around town. Everybody is saying that Tory Lanez can drop it and lick it like he lick it. She said that when you eating me up like this, how you expect for me not to be jealous?
What's wrong with that?
What's wrong with that? So when Kylie got out the pool looking like the god he said she did, because that's what Tory Lanez said.
He probably ate Kylie.
He said Kylie came out the pool
looking like an
and
angel.
She came out looking. Did he say angel or heavenly?
Heavenly.
Because I thought he said
heavenly. Well, he addressed it more than one time.
He
so
said
which
heavenly.
Are you referring to?
Look at me.
Because he said heavenly times on the track.
He said she got after when Kylie.
Any nigga would fuck. I'm sorry.
He said when Kylie rose
any man
from
would
the
want
pool,
Kylie Jenner though, right?
She looked it like a goddess.
Any man would want Kylie Jenner, right? Though they would want her.
I mean, shit.
I'm gonna tell you.
Building bodies are in,
and I feel like we gave.
I think I'm gonna build mine.
I think I am too. Shit, hell, fuck it.
I feel like we gave this enough, and I will say this: if a man ever shot me, my friends and the people that I know,
gonna tear his ass
the only time you ever say his name is to find him.
Period.
I don't want to talk about it. He shot a woman. He shot a black woman.
Period.
He shot a person who didn't have a gun on him. He is a narcissist.
A bigot. No, I'm just kidding.
Abuser.
No, for sure. He got Napoleon syndrome.
He is not
because a lot of people say that about him
stable
too.
At all. Absolutely.
And I don't believe that he deserves, and I don't believe Meg deserves this conversation. Because we have a young lady right here striving to be on the same stage as Meg.
Absolutely.
And once you get on that stage, do know people will try to tear you
apart,
down. People who you don't know, people
who
never met you, people who don't even know anything about you will try to tear you down. So remember, she is only living her dream. And in her dream, there are people that are trying to tear her down and question her integrity. Only because she's famous, and she does not deserve that.
I think
and
Tori does not, and
Tori does not get to get our input.
You had a wonderful interview with Megan. You had an off the chain interview with Megan Thee Stallion.
I did.
Where did you get from? Because that is, I'm a hottie. I've been having hot girls since the 90s. I'm 39.
The energy I got from Meg, and fortunately, we got to interview, her mom was there, and this was before her mom passed away. This was maybe a year or so before her mom died. And we got to talk.
So her mom was alive when...
Yeah, when we interviewed.
Was she there, Hollywood?
Girl, her mom was a rapper.
Yeah, but I remember. Hollywood back from Houston.
I had her spit in her mom's rhymes.
She did. I watched that.
I was like, do your mom's rhymes. Because I know if your mom's a rapper, you know your mom's rhymes.
You did.
She act like she was a little shy to spit, though.
Yeah,
she act like she was a little shy to spit. I don't know if I remember.
You know what your mom was talking about. Yeah. So she just had a beautiful energy. She had an energy that just said, hey, I'm trying to live my best life.
Y'all had the best interview I've ever seen her have with anybody. Like, she was so comfortable and so in tune, and you were just sitting up on that desk.
Well, let me tell you something. I'll never forget. I used to do hair, right? And when I was doing hair, it was MTV. Like, really, was MTV used to play videos. You know, I'm telling my age.
Yeah.
So, and I remember Puffy would get interviewed a lot, and I would look at the TV, and I would be like, you know what? I can interview Puffy. Not I want to interview Puffy.
But you could.
I can interview Puffy because I feel like I'm just important as Puffy.
Period.
I feel like I am here on this earth just as much as he is here on this earth. We both are God's children. We both are equal, not in financial means, but in spirit. I felt. I was like, ooh, I bet you if I sat down to interview Puffy, shit, it'd be the best interview ever.
You still want to interview Puffy?
I would, yeah. I want to interview. Oh, hold on. So when I manifest in the morning, and when I say my affirmations in the morning, and when I tell God what I require, and what I need, and what I want, and what's going to happen, I say I will interview anybody in the world that I want to.
Period. So let me ask you this. Do you feel like, since you've been in the entertainment industry so long, how many years have you been in?
I was on the radio for 19 years.
Okay, so since you've been in the entertainment industry for 19 years, do you feel like there's anybody that would give you, like, like you would just be starstruck about?
Obama?
Barack Obama.
But I interviewed Michelle Obama before.
So you did?
And that was totally awesome. It was over the phone.
Oh, okay.
It was a year that Obama was running for his first election, so they were doing everything, calling everybody, and I interviewed Michelle, and of course we had to give her the questions prior, but it was like, what's on your playlist. We talked about voting, of course. She was just, her energy you could feel through the phone.
Period. Don't forget to vote.
You could feel her energy through the phone. So she was like an amazing interview, but that was my starstruck interview. Like, that was my, oh my God.
Because you interviewed a lot of heavy hitters. I literally scroll and I picked like a couple of my favorites. I would have to say that very first Veda After Hours with A-Ball and MJG.
Oh my God.
Hold on. Pause. I'm finna cry laughing because.
Oh my
Go
God.
off, Sway.
In the car? In the car?
Can I ask?
In the car?
Were you like?
When we was in the
was
car?
you sipping a little?
Was in the car?
Because Peter got that like.
Is that the one where I asked her when he get the gas?
Yes! Pull this out. Yes! I was like, and then she was like, but you know you my dog, right? I'm like, Veda. You did not.
Did you get the gastric vibe? Because she asked those questions.
She asked the heavy hitters. She's not scared to ask anything.
I was like, you get
Ooh,
that
ask the
surgery?
question.
You get that Al-Roker?
You get that Al-Roker?
You want that Al-Roker?
That was fun.
That was crazy.
That was fun.
Like when I watched that, I'm not gonna lie. That was
We're
the,
gonna
that
take
was
the
the
question
video
from
that
you.
I watched. That I was like,
From
okay,
the
I
crew.
can't be nervous to interview her. I
We
can't.
were in the parking lot of Beamers.
Beamers?
When it was Beamers.
I'm from here.
Not Park
Let
Avenue.
me tell you something.
Remember
Let
Park
me
Avenue?
tell you
Park
something,
Avenue?
baby. That was when the clubs was the clubs. It ain't been no Beamers. That was when the clubs was the
It
clubs.
was another name.
Poppin' Beamers.
It was another name before
Beamer.
Park
Okay,
Avenue.
so
That was people. Beamer.
I'm gonna go to the crew. Do any of the crew? Do y'all get anybody got any questions y'all want to ask?
Yes.
I'm gonna let y'all tap in right quick. We're
When is
tapping
your
in with the
birthday?
crew.
When is your birthday? What is
I'm a
your sign?
Leo.
Period.
Sister
That's my sister
July
side.
27th. Blah, 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 blah.
Demanding.
Okay. You got a question you want to ask?
It's the hair for me. That's
It's
really
the
what
hair.
got me.
What
The
you like, the
real
hair here or the hair on here?
Not a hair. Listen, that's how I spotted her.
The hair.
At just
Torchies.
recently at Torchies, yeah.
That's how
This is
I
my
spotted you.
signature hair.
Yeah.
This is my signature hair. I've had this hair for a long time.
I love it.
Yeah,
It's
I've had
so
it.
relaxing.
It's comfortable to me. It's a comfort. It's like my Linus blanket,
Definitely.
like my blanket that I carry around all the time. This is my blanket right here.
Veda, I have a question.
Okay.
Who taught you how to cook?
Who said I know how to cook?
Let me tell you why I even
Yeah.
asked
Let's go there.
Let me
Let's
get
go
into
there.
why I even want to ask you this
Dabble a little
question.
bit, yeah,
Let me
my
get
mom.
into why I even want to
Taco
ask her this
Tuesday.
question.
My mom's a really good cook.
This lady cut onions for 7 minutes on a video. I was like,
And you saw I cut
How
him
the
really,
hell
and I cut
is
him really
she-
good,
You
right?
did.
I was like,
Well,
how
my
is she mixing these
is a-
You had some
onions?
passion into those onions
no,
that day.
The onions
Look.
were a metaphor.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Okay. Come on, metaphor.
So
I got
come
it.
on,
The
tell us about
onions
it.
were a metaphor. I wanted to cry.
Yeah.
I just lost my job of 19 years, my career.
19 years.
So the onions were a way for me to,
Playfully let it out.
yeah, in a sense, because I didn't want to be heavy at that point. I didn't want to go heavy. You know, I do heavy, but I just felt like heavy wasn't the time right then. It didn't need heavy. It needed just lightheartedness. It needed, you know, I needed that for myself. So the onions were just the fact that, okay, I'm not going to cry, but if you see a tear, it's these motherfucking onions.
You're like, it's not.
Yeah, it's these
Veda,
onions.
how did you feel? What was the initial feeling? Did you know
When
anything?
they let go.
Were you?
Oh, I knew I was going to let go. July 27th, my birthday. My birthday last year, right? I got let go January the 6th. So July 27th in 2019, I'm on the morning show. I'm celebrating my birthday at the Statler downtown.
I know the Statler.
Mm-hmm.
The general manager from the station, the lady that fired me, well, I'm sorry, transitioned me, because I don't never get fired.
Period.
The lady that transitioned me came to my birthday party and told me they wanted to let me go on my birthday.
On your
Shut
birthday.
up.
Can I ask what her ethnicity is? This is off the record. Off the record.
Her blood type is real nigga.
Okay.
Yeah.
Her blood type
But
is
see,
real
she
nigga. 'Cause
knew.
it wasn't
She
her
knew.
decision.
It wasn't
It
her
wasn't
decision.
her.
Exactly.
It was the
She
higher
was on
up.
her blood type
Yeah.
is real nigga.
I like
Yes.
that.
Yeah.
I like that.
You know.
I like
Yeah,
that.
she gave me fair warning, Veda. They got this new morning show they're putting together, and they want to bring them in here. So you and your team need to get ready. You need to get it together. You need to beat Dee Dee, and we didn't.
What?
Because that's what
You
ratings
needed to
about
beat
ratings.
Dee Dee? I
It's about
understand it.
ratings.
I
It's about,
understand
if I'm
that.
not beating
But
the competitor, then why am I here?
But it's only one lady in morning show.
It's only
It's
one
only one.
urban.
And
It's not. It's about ratings.
Right.
It's about ratings.
All the time.
There's 4 urban stations. There's only 2 hip hop stations. You have to beat the other hip hop station in order for them to say, okay, we'll keep her. Because if you're not winning, you're losing.
Period.
Ain't no in between.
Ain't no in between.
What's
And that's what she
if
said
you
to
ain't
me on my
first, you
fucking
last.
birthday.
Now where's that from?
Tailgater Night. She
You got it.
If you ain't first,
You
you
like,
last.
was it-
Ricky Bobby. Ricky Bobby.
Was that your first job? Like 1979
Yeah,
wasn't your first.
No, I did hair for 12 years.
Really?
I did hair for 12 years. Remember, that's when I talked about the Diddy. I would watch TV doing hair. See, the thing about it was people would come get their hair done from me that didn't even need their hair done. I was a personality. I was an energy. And I'll never forget doing hair. And I would say to people, I said it to myself at first. And this is key right here. I would say it in my head a lot. I would say, "Oh, I want to be famous. I want to be an entertainer. I want to be on MTV." And I just said it in my head. And then Troy Aikman played for the Cowboys at that time. You know, I'm doing hair, and I was like, "Wow, if Troy Aikman can get paid for throwing that ball the way he does, I should be able to get paid for talking because I do it good." These women come and get their hair done to hear me. To feel me, to get my energy. And I said that inside. I internalized that. I said, oh, wow, this is happening inside. But it wasn't until I started speaking it out my mouth.
Period.
Out my mouth. Okay. You see, it stayed in here for a long time. But when it came out here, actions were taken.
Period.
You can think of something all you want, but until you speak it to the universe, until you tell the universe exactly what you feel and what you can do, it will not happen. No. The universe is not here for self-doubt. Right. The universe is here for absolute. Right. So absolutely. I said when I absolutely was able to say, oh, I can get paid for talking. I could be on MTV. I could do this. When I started saying it is when I started doing the actions to actually make it happen.
Can I interject something real quick?
We're gonna speak to the crew. Go ahead, crew.
The manifestation of what you said is just what your co-host has done for 5 years straight.
Right.
I want to let you know this is actually the 6th company she's done now.
That's why I'm here.
And so because of that, that's what I'm saying. Because
that's
of that
why I'm here.
Birthday edition every year for her. Well, no, I always thought.
I'm here because she told me she wanted to be on the radio,
right,
and it didn't work. And she was like, oh, but then other things started popping and popping and popping and popping. And then she became successful.
That's right.
And then she was like, oh, I'm in a position to now. I'm so successful. I'm going to start this. But see, this is what you wanted in the beginning.
Period.
Yeah.
But you had to go through it. You had to go
through
circles
through
it.
it to go
And
through
I
it.
peeped that out. And that's why I said, well, I'm going to be there for your number one show. Because this is what you manifested. So I'm going to be there for your manifestation.
Period.
Yeah, that's why I came.
That's it.
Y'all gonna do me like this.
Check this out. You made me wait
RGE report.
You made me wait a whole day to tell you this. So, what I was telling you about what I wrote in my notebook last week, or maybe it was 2 weeks ago now. 2 weeks ago when I was on my way to LA.
Oh, yeah.
I was sitting on the plane, and I was like telling I have been depressed, like literally for like 2 weeks. I've been telling Trinity every day, like, bro, I need to go see somebody. Is something wrong with me for real? I can't take it.
Yeah.
So I sat down on the plane, and I was just like, you know what? Today is the day that I'm not gonna do this shit no more. Like, I'm gonna be happy. I'm gonna get it together. I'm gonna just write down what I'm gonna get out of my head, because air signs, we live in our heads. We all live in our heads. Yeah. Aquarius, Gemini, Libra,
no.
for sure. People do.
Your subconscious is real.
That's true. That's very true.
Your subconscious is 98% of how you think.
That's very true.
And your subconscious is the one that talks you out of doing what you really
want to do.
Your conscious will say I can, and your subconscious will say you can't. And that is not a zodiac sign.
But if you do, you know what's going to happen. You're going to
trip. That's not a zodiac sign. That is a brain.
You very on the head.
It's your brain. It's your brain.
I sat down on the plane. And I pulled my notebook out. This notebook is very special because before I ever took one pencil out or a pen or anything and wrote in it, I blessed this notebook myself. I've made this book my manifestation book, and whatever I write in it comes to me. Period. I sat on that plane, y'all, and I wrote my name down.
Oh yeah.
I wrote my name down. I wrote Rich Sway, not Sway.
Rich Sway.
In a circle.
Cause that's your
Literally,
name.
Rich Sway, not Sway. And I wrote all the things that embody me, all the things that this person who I know myself to be have, or you know what I'm saying, would be lit, like the life I would be living, the things I would have, all these things. Do y'all know in a week span, I'm not lying, if I pull this paper out right now, everything on this list, I got it right now, the very next, like 5 days later, we was sitting in Grand Lux, and you was like, all right, so we gonna do this, ooh, shake my hand, right now. If you serious, shake my hand. I'm like, what, is you serious? Come on, let's do it. Literally not even a whole week later. And here we are.
Here we are.
What'd you write?
I'm glad you asked. Well, shit.
Reese Way, what did you write?
Okay, so.
What did you write? You so perfect.
Y'all, don't say that. Don't say that. Y'all know I get excited. So I wrote my name a bunch of times because I wanted to figure out how I wanted to write it. Like,
When you do
how.
when you do your autograph. When you do your autograph. I had those times, girl.
Oh, yeah.
Baby, I'm like, look, I need to know
What's
everything.
your autograph look like?
I might want to make it quick.
Do it again.
And
Your autograph. Your autograph. Do it again.
That was mine. And then here go my pen.
Do it.
Oh, the dot. It's that dot for me.
It's a dot for me.
Oh. Yeah, do it again. Okay. I love it.
You ain't got to have a dot in your name.
If I don't do that dot,
Then it's not
especially
it's
on
not
that serious paper.
It's not you then.
Long hair,
Okay.
love energy, nails, lip liner, gloss, fresh as the fuck, self-love to the fullest, commands things for herself, confident lashes, obviously. You know how to have those.
Okay.
Doesn't force things, lives in the moment, and gets guap. All these things are happening.
And they were simple. And they made
They
were
made
for you.
such a big difference, though.
Yeah, see, people
They
think
made
that you
such
gotta
a big
have
difference.
you gotta be so technical.
Yeah.
People think that you gotta be
Yeah.
so, so
Yeah.
you know, no. Little things.
Because those things make me happy. Like having my
You
hair
know
done,
where I
having
got my
nails done,
writing
stuff like
from?
that. That shit makes me
My
happy.
mom. Oh my God, dog. Like
My mom writes too.
my sister can say this is my sister. My mom, all my life, she would have a notebook every month.
Oh, I like that.
And my mom,
I like that.
I love my mom. Mama, this for you. Snowdale, baby. Her name is Snowdale. Snow. That's my mama
Yes,
name.
Miss Snow.
So she would write down every month. I would see my mama writing light bill, water, gas. My mama had 7 kids. One of my sisters died of cancer. Toiletries, bills, put it to.
Right.
She write it down worked all her life. Just retired. Full 401k. She probably already sitting on $1 million and we don't know it, but it's cool. But what she instilled in me, write it down.
Write it down.
Period.
That's when it becomes real.
You write it down. And what writing it down has done, because when Rich Girls Entertainment became, I wasn't rich. Rich Girls has nothing to do with being rich.
Period.
What it has something to do with, one day I looked in the back seat. I had a Honda. I had just came home from prison, and I got pregnant. I had Jordan. And I was just doing all these little things because I was a felon. People went high. You know, I didn't know. I was so confused.
Trying to find your way.
Period.
So I looked in the back seat one day, and her onesie was too little. Tripped me out.
Blew you.
Yeah, that's when we slept in the car.
Blew you.
We slept in the car that day. And when I was in the car, I remember what my mama did. I wrote it down. I said, house.
Period. Fucking period.
What you need?
24 hours.
What you need?
I had a house.
What you need?
Yeah.
What
With
you
the faith of God and with the ride of my sister, R.I.P. Sabrina. This show is dedicated to my sister Sabrina. that died of cancer in 2004. I'm not gonna go there because I get emotional. Then my friend sitting here and she has cancer. So, and she here for me today, so I'm not gonna go in there, but and I wrote everything down. I wrote all this different stuff down, and pretty soon I was boom,
Crossing them off.
boom,
Period. Check that
boom.
box.
Before later, when I didn't have not one place to stay, now I got 3.
Ooh.
I stay in my Fort Worth home.
Period. Oh.
I stay in my Addison home.
Period.
Or I stay at my Waco home.
You got options.
Or I stay at my mama home. This is my home. I got 4. I don't even want to brag. But it's just a story that those things that what we learned growing up, because we grew up different. I didn't grow up cell phones and stuff. I remember going to the payphone. I was 12 years old. My mama was struggling with with her dude or whatever was going on. I was 12 years old. Went to the payphone and called to get a job at the tent. Did I not call to get a job at the Tandy Center? I need to go to work because I need to help my mama.
That's right.
And now she the greatest woman. I own everything she got. I own her land. You know what I'm saying? And still took care of her 7 kids. So I come from a lot of, you know what I mean? Like we gon' when I was poor, I ain't know I was poor.
Hello.
When I was buck tooth,
That's a good house.
baby, let me tell you something. When I was raggedy mouth yellow girl, like, I ain't know none of that. You couldn't tell me nothing because my mama always was, baby, you so beautiful.
Okay.
Go take over the world. And it's just amazing how we were already built up to be who we are, even though our parents didn't probably have the, you know, because I didn't come from that, so I don't know it. I have family that did, like they were different, you know. But it's crazy how my mama ended up with everything, and everybody that did better than us, you know. My mama ended up.
Somebody you know.
So and that's where I come from, and that's why I took $60 and turned it into $240,000 and changed people's lives when I didn't even know. All I knew was God. Ain't nobody gonna hire me. The radio game is so hard. J-Rud and them playing, like, I don't know what's going on out there. You know, this and that and other.
Well, yeah,
but he,
but
you know what he told me?
J-Rud
It wasn't
playing,
J-Rud
it was
playing.
God.
It wasn't my role. That wasn't what I was supposed to do. No. It wasn't never him playing. Because that's not his. That wasn't what he was doing. I built my relationship with him that I still have with him. And I still have with Baby. But in the inside, I wouldn't come out and be like, oh, it's y'all.
But you wanted to because, you know, before I got on the radio, there was
did.
people that were on the radio that I asked to help me get on the radio. Every time I saw him, Big Bing,
Yep.
Head Crack, Super K, Keynote, they all got hired before me, and we all knew each other. Well, I didn't know Keynote and Super K, but I knew Big Bing and I knew Head Crack. And so whenever I would see them, I would ask them, hey, help a sister out, you know, put it in a good word. And they would always say to me, oh, yeah, I got you, but it's not their responsibility.
It's not.
And they probably just can't.
No. It's not their responsibility.
It's for you to find your way.
And that's something that I had to learn because before, for so long, I'm like, okay, I'm asking y'all, so why not y'all? Y'all my friend. You know what I mean? Like, you my friend. Like, you know what I mean? But I got to do the work. Have you did the work, Yellow?
Let me tell you how I got my job. So I was okay. I moved to Dallas because I was a coke addict. Ooh. And I was on coke real bad. So I was doing hair, and my nose started bleeding behind my client. One of the ladies that worked at the salon, an older lady, called my mom. My mom didn't live there. My mom lived in Massachusetts, and I was in Maryland, like outside of D.C. So she called my mom. She got my mom's number. I don't even know where she got my mom's number from. Because no, to this day I don't know where she got my mom's number from. But she called my mom and she said Veda's not good. She's not good. See, my dad was ignoring what was going on. My dad is not a talker. Mm-hmm. He's an introvert. Mm. So he knew I was on drugs, but he didn't know how to talk to me.
What's your dad's zodiac sign?
He's a Cancer.
Mm.
He didn't know how to talk to me about it, so he would just let it go and go, you know. And so finally, my mom called me and she said, well, look, you got to move. you're either gonna come here with me to Massachusetts, or you're gonna move to Texas with your brother. Which one you want to do? I said, I'm going with my brother. Clearly. So they came. One of my brothers flew out. Actually, both of my brothers flew out. One flew back. Well, they flew out, packed my stuff up, sold most of my stuff, and we drove from Maryland to Texas. I had $100. I had $100 in my pocket, and I had no bank account. I had no money, just $100 that my daddy gave me. Now, mind you, when I was on coke, I paid my bills. I kept my car. I was a functional addict. You know, I didn't lose anything but my will. I lost my will to get up and do shit. You know what I'm saying? I lost my will to make shit happen. Needless to say, the thing is, I want to tell you how I got hired. So I got here, and I always said I'm my best when I'm at my worst. Mm-hmm. When you have nothing, you have to think of something. Ooh. When you have nothing, you have to think of something. So I just started donating my time at the Boys and Girls Club. I started making hats. I started sewing weave and hats for cancer patients, for little kids, little girls. You know, I'm sitting at the shop because, you know, I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. I'm here. God saved me. You know, this over and over again, he saved me. You know, over and over again.
Over and over again.
Over and over again.
But this time is different.
But this time, oh no, I got back on drugs. After I got back on drugs. But what I'm saying is, the moral of this story, the first part is, so this is when I said, oh, I want to be on TV. Okay, so here's what I'm gonna do. I hired some guy to follow me around a club and pretend like I was on MTV. This is how I got on 97.9. This is how I got my job. Right, this is how I got my job. And you know, I went to the white people shit. Humperdinck's. I went to $2 Tuesdays on Humperdinck's, because $2 Tuesdays will be so packed in Arlington, like standing room only.
Yes.
That's when I first
Absolutely.
$2 Tuesdays was so hype. Wednesdays I would be on the cement in front of the station.
Yeah.
I mean, not the station, but the hair salon.
Right.
Fucked up. Like
but she there,
using the cement
but she there, though.
as cold for my face, like like, you know, like the commode when you need that cold on you. I be laid out in the parking lot because it's Wednesday and Tuesday fucked me up. So, but I hired this guy to follow me because I knew something needed to happen. See, it's not when you tell God your vision, don't worry about how. Just put the work in. Yes. Don't worry about how. Just put the work in. You see, I thought I was going to get this tape, right? Because he followed me. I'm doing like, I got a mic in there. And white people do whatever the fuck you want them to do when they drunk. Yeah. And sometimes even when they're not.
That's your way.
They'll be like, damn, let's do it.
That's right.
Let's do it.
Somebody can come to her and be like, can you pay my phone
Let's
bill?
do it. Be like,
What's the number?
Not that shit. So I'm in the club. I'm in the club and I'm like pretending we're on, you know, doing Lil Wayne. I'm pretending there's a video coming up, and I'm like this, I'm like that.
How you guys feel about it?
So yeah.
What's going on?
He takes all of this footage and he makes a video. This is how long it was. It was a VHS tape. This is how long it was. It's 2000. I moved here in 2000.
Wow.
It's in 2000.
Yep, you moved
it's
here in
VHS
2000.
tapes.
Mm-hmm.
So he makes like 20 VHS tapes, right? He gives me this box. I pay him. He compiles everything. And we you know, oh, I like it. So I said, oh, I'm gonna mail this to MTV, right? And then like that anthrax shit happened, you know, like that shit.
Right.
And I was like, oh my God,
gonna open it?
they're not gonna open this. Hell no, this a bomb.
The government, hell.
But that's MTV, not even the government.
They cut some shit
That's
off.
MTV, not even the government.
Yeah.
But what I did was my self-doubt, though. That was my
Fucked
self
you
doubt.
up.
That my self doubt said, well, they're not even gonna open it
Fucked
anyway
you up.
because they're not even doing like a we looking type shit.
Yeah.
Talk yourself
I
out of
was
it.
the one who wanted to send it, but they wasn't doing any kind of contest. They wasn't doing anything like that. So I decided not to send it. So I'm riding around with these VHS tapes in my trunk of my car. Period. What am I do with them?
Right.
And then one night I was at a karaoke. This dude gave me a flyer for a talent show. And he was like, oh, talent show? You got a host?
I got talent.
Yeah. No, I didn't say, can I be in the show? I said, do you got a host? I said, do you have a host?
Period. And what they say, no.
He said, you know what?
We don't.
The host actually just canceled
That
on
was
us.
God.
He said the host.
Won't he do it?
There's no
Won't he
such
do
thing.
it?
No, there's no
Yeah.
such thing
As
as
a dumb
luck. It's
Oh,
about
yeah, no
preparation and timing. There's no such thing as luck. Anybody who says they're lucky is lying to themselves. There's no such thing as luck. It's about preparation and timing. So when he gave me that flyer, I gave him that tape. That's the only tape I ever gave away. And so
How many did you have?
I had like 20 of them.
And that was a big deal.
And I had 20 of them in the back
That
seat.
was a
That's
big
the only
deal
tape
to
I
have
ever
a
gave
lot
away.
of
Like a couple $100.
Okay.
But still,
So-
what would have did?
Yeah.
So I'm gonna fast forward because this was about not giving up. This was about not giving up. So anywho, I got the job from that tape. I hosted. There was a video show that was filming it. There was a video show filming it for the person who was throwing it.
Okay.
It was a Dallas Cowboy, Kevin Smith. He was throwing this event. He hired a local video show to shoot it. I'm hosting. I don't have anything to do with anybody but just me. The video show was like, oh, girl, you got a lot of energy. You want to work with us? Yes. Okay, fast forward. 97.9 comes, right? So I'm with this video show. And they're like, well, they go to 97.9. And they say, well, you know what? Let's do a relationship. Okay, let's do a relationship. Let's get together. Y'all tell us where you're going to be. And we'll come and we'll film it for you. And put it on our local video show. Cool. We was doing that stuff. So at that point, I said, okay, well, I'm going to start applying for this job. I'm going to start applying for the job. This is where we come to the point where you do not know. All you got to do is have the fucking vision and stay true to it because you do not know how it's going to come to you. Correct. So the dude that hires people for the 97.9, Daryl Johnson. The dude that hires everybody, Daryl Johnson.
Yeah.
I call him all the time. I went and filled out an application. You check my application? I wouldn't get to talk to him. I get to talk to the receptionist. Yeah. Now, mind you, every time 97.9 is out, I'm always there. Because I want to be around them.
Right.
There's this white guy that's always there, and I don't know who he is. We never talk, but every time I see him, I dance with him. I don't talk to him. I don't ask him what his name is. Dance. We just kick it on the dance floor, and then we move around. And that's it.
Who was he?
Hold on. So, one day I'm out, and I said, Daryl, come on, Daryl. Put me in the game, coach. He said, okay, come to the station tomorrow. I'm going to give you an interview. I said, oh, yes, great, right? So I woke up that morning, and I heard that he was taking over for somebody else's shift. So I knew he wasn't going to be able to interview me at that time because he was working for somebody else. Okay. So I called up there, right? And the receptionist was like, I said, can I speak to Daryl? She's like, he's on the air, but you know what? I'm just going to go ahead and put you through so you can talk to him. So he picks up the phone and he says... On the air? Well, not on the air. No, it's a cell phone. So he picks up the phone and he says, Daryl. And I say, hey, Daryl, it's me, Veda. He hung the phone up.
No.
In my face. I said, hey, Daryl, it's Veda. Click. I cried. Because I was like,
You blame me.
what am I going to do now? Do I want this?
Ooh.
Oh,
What do
your
I
ass
want to
up there.
do? What
Do
do
I
I
want
want
Put
to
your
to
ass
do?
up there.
Do I want this?
Yeah.
Do
Ah.
I want
Yeah.
this? What do I want to do? I had to make a decision because you know I'm a hood nigga. I wanted to
Stop
slap
playing
the
with it.
shit
If I
out
want
of
it, I
him.
got it.
I wanted to slap the shit out of him when I saw him. Because I wanted to be like, nigga, don't you ever do me like that. But then I was like, but Veda, is this what you want though? So I had to forget about it. Next time I seen him,
Play the fool.
I pretend like I let him make it.
Period.
I didn't even approach him. I let him see me and do his little over there that type
Right.
shit.
Beeline.
I let him do that, and I didn't say anything about it. So I called again because I said, you know what? You want this. The receptionist said, Veda, come up here, and I'm gonna, let Daryl, talk to Daryl. Just come up here. She's like, I'm gonna come up here, right? So I was like, okay, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna come.
Insistent.
So I go up there, right? Daryl ain't even there yet. The white man. Remember the white man?
Come on, white man. Come on, white man.
Never asked who he was.
Always a white
Never knew who he was. I'm sitting in the lobby just hoping that I can see Daryl. White man walks in first. It's him. I said, what are you doing here? He said, what are you doing here?
Right.
I'm the
here.
boss.
Right.
No, I'm the general manager.
Come on, manager.
No. I am the head of this entire radio station.
See how your paths meet you.
Full
He said,
circle.
I
We
am
was
the
talking about that
general
today.
manager. He said, what are you doing here? Trying to get a job? You know what he told her? He said, set up an interview with us. Daryl didn't have nothing to do with it at this point.
You got to.
Daryl didn't have nothing to do with this at this point. Daryl had nothing to do with this.
Period.
He set up the interview, and you know whose office I went to?
To his.
His office.
Because what's for you
And
is
you
for
know
you.
who was in
Nobody
there?
can take that away from you.
You know who was
Yeah.
in there? Daryl.
Shut your mouth.
With the poo-poo face. With the poo-poo face.
know how to look.
Looking like the
Now I'm working with you. Not for you.
Yeah.
face in the corner. Not the corner, but there. This. And I got the job that day.
Ooh, there it go. There it is.
And you work there.
Be the low.
So it's not.
Be the low.
We don't know the path.
Be the
But
low.
we gotta
It's
stay
low.
true to the vision.
Yes.
You don't know your path, but you gotta stay true to the vision because you will give up. People give up. You will give up. You can give up.
Yeah.
You will give
Yes.
up. You can give up, but you better not.
I did.
But you better not.
Yeah.
But you did not give up. Don't say you
All right,
give
all right,
up because you
right,
here.
I feel like I lost sight, but I
Trent.
changed my
But you
vision
came
right
back.
back. Me and Trinity
Yeah.
was just talking about this
Check that box.
today. I was just
Check
telling
that
her
box
how
right
every
there.
time I tried to do music, I've been like music has always been like my thing. Like it's always been my thing since I was a little kid. The very first time I sang on the radio, I was 4 years old. I've been doing this literally my whole life. But it seemed like every time I would try to do it, something would just, it was like I would meet a block. Like I would just meet a block every time. I would just meet a block every time. And the last time that I stopped doing music, I had my baby, and like I went through some stuff with my son's father. He was my producer at the time, and then like we started getting into it. So then like music started getting like complicated for me, and just a bunch of shit. And I felt like I lost myself. I felt like I couldn't really do music anymore because for so long he would say stuff like, "You ain't never made no music this cold." You know what I'm saying? And it was like he didn't mean it maliciously. But because every single time we would make some fire ass music, he would be like, "You ain't never made no shit
You
this
can do
hard."
it without him.
It was like I couldn't do it without him. I was like no,
do it
G, I
without
can't
him,
believe
He
because
was a part of the
he
inspiration.
was a part of it for me, and so it took me a long time to separate it. But the moment that I decided, like I told Trinity today, like I'm nerve sighted. She kept asking me why, and I was like, I don't know. And I was like, I really don't know why.
It's a big deal.
No,
This
she,
to be-
no,
She's so humble.
it's not Veda Loca, it's God's children
Yeah. Period.
showing you that don't stop.
Period.
You was about to receive something today and you didn't know it.
Man, I kept
You
saying while
was
I was in
ready
LA.
to receive
I
today.
kept saying while I was in LA, I'm not gonna be mad because I'm going home to good news. I'm going home to good news. I can't be mad. I'm going home to good news. I came home to Big Bleezy and Veda Loca, and we in this podcast.
And the RG
getting
is
ready.
bored.
What's up?
Yeah.
Like, what?
Stop playing.
I'm gonna tell you
It's
what.
Rick Sway
I'm
in
gonna
here.
tell It's alignment season. It's alignment season.
Period. It is.
We
She
have
know
to
what she
teach our
talking about.
sisters about alignment.
Period.
I took off work because I felt like I needed to align with this young lady right here.
Veda's a part of our village now.
I needed to align with
love
this
that.
young lady right here. I knew that she had a lot going on. Her energy, the way she spoke to me, her passion, the way she stood up for me when I wasn't even there, the way she was like riding hard for me, and then the fact that she's a successful black woman
Period.
and she's making things happen in this world. I said, oh, I gotta align.
Keep on, your audience is hitting hard. They love it.
I gotta
They love
align.
it. It's what it is.
I
That's what
gotta
it is.
align. It's alignment season.
right.
Stop looking for friends that just do for you what you need for them to do. It is time for you to
Sit down.
align.
We still in the podcast.
I
Don't shut it up.
We still in the
Shut
RGE
up.
report.
I was
We over
gonna
there.
shout.
Well, shut
I ain't know. I was gonna shout. I was gonna shout.
Okay, you
Be the preacher there, she don't even know.
Hold on.
touching.
Hold on, though. You touching me.
What they
Veda,
say when
you
they preach, am
touching.
I coming down
You
your street?
touching. You touching.
Your Kool-Aid.
Yeah, you touching.
Do you know? Is it great?
Yes.
Is it great?
Yes.
Share.
Yes.
Is it
It's my
exclusive
business.
interview right now.
Don't do
Don't
that.
do that.
Don't do that.
Sorry. It's our cheerleader in the building.
Yes.
Yes.
I'm just over here taking notes. I got a lot to say, but I'm gonna let y'all say.
I'm gonna tell y'all how God works.
I'm gonna send a text message.
I'm gonna say this about my God, the God. Who shall?
Say it.
Say it right now.
You know, I think a lot of I got a lot of stuff going on, but this right here.
That's why I
Come on. Come on.
Well, that's why
Come on.
That's why I'm here.
Come on, let's go. That's it. That's it.
This right here
Yes.
was the plan.
Yes.
None of the money, all the money, so much money.
So much more.
Yeah.
This was the plan. This was always the plan, baby. And I'm so amazed on my birthday. I'm so amazed. I'm so grateful.
Happy birthday.
And the way I met you, you don't even know the story.
Oh yeah, you said you was gonna say that, but you've been crying for a while. I ain't seen no tears though. Go ahead.
Hold on.
I tried it online.
I got my book.
She's trying to
Keep
fry.
it together.
She was slapping.
Got my G over
I
here.
love it.
So I just
I love it.
so when
But you back there.
we're getting ready to do the first podcast, right?
When was that?
No, today's gonna be the first podcast. You know,
No,
what?
when you.
No, this
one.
time.
Oh, okay.
And so it was people that wasn't there, backed out, like it
Oh,
didn't
wow.
understand, it didn't care, and it didn't
Wow.
matter. And it was, I ain't gonna say they didn't care. It just it's not their thing. It's not their dream.
Match up.
When Crystal, my assistant, this is my assistant. Let's put the camera on Crystal right quick. So my assistant, right? I tell her, I say, I'm not coming. This is my office. I said I'm not coming to the office for 2 days. I say I did everything. I said something. I can't move right now. This is a true story. I said I can't move because I'm moving wrong.
Yeah.
So I tell Crystal, I say, close the office 2 days. You gotta close the office. So Friday come, I say, I make a couple things. I say, Crystal, the stuff at the office, you gotta go to the office and bring the stuff to me in Dallas. She, all right, boss, I'm on. I gotta run over there. And I'm like, I'm sorry, you gotta make it happen though. I said, we got 45 minutes, Crystal. And that's why you my dog.
Made that shit
I
right.
said, I got 45 minutes. You gotta get here, Crystal. We gotta run this stuff because I gotta have this kind of money for my birthday, this and that. I don't know what I'm gonna do about this podcast. People that back, I don't understand. I don't know what's going on. I didn't understand what God was doing. It's what I didn't understand. So she get there. She pull up to the Addison house. She know, where you at? You in Fort Worth? You in Dallas? Oh, I gotta come. Come to Dallas. She come to Dallas. I get on the computers. Computer's not working. I'm going off on my daughter. Jordan, you got this Zoom stuff. I gotta run my paper. Crystal, Crystal, oh my God. I said, I'm so tired of this shit. I'm tired of Zoom. I can't do it. Lord, no. I'm telling my husband, Will, what's up? I'm just trying to get everybody. She's sitting right here. She got the iPad. I can't get run the payment. I can't do what I'm trying to do because it wasn't time for me to move yet. Soon as it happened, Crystal, she's sitting over on the iPad. Folks, I don't know. And I don't know what to do. So she sit over there with the iPad, and I get it. I said, hold on, Chris. I got to hold on. Let me slow down. So I go to the other computer. I run it through another engine, and boom, 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 everything goes through. And I'm like, okay, I'm back happy. Everything is fine. I said, so now we got to figure out our form for the podcast. So we leave, right? I said, well, go on. Let's just go do something. You done drove way out here and did all this stuff because she the bomb. She the one really, she the bomb. So I said, okay, let me, so she get out here. She get out there, we leave. We outside and talking. I'm like, yeah, so we make a left. I said, well, go on up there, go by. I said, stop at Torches right quick. Well, that's the song. That was really one of my jams back in the day. Go on and call Monica, though, too.
Monica, you always
So
try to
I tell her, I say, well, go to Torches. So we sitting in Torches, we at the end of the thing, right? So I'm like, well, Crystal, look, Sway gonna be there, everybody gonna be there, a couple people done backed out on me, whatever going on. So I'm talking to Crystal like this, and I'm like, we gotta do this. Our favorite podcast, we doing our thing. So then this lady walks in, and I see this her, so I look, because I see this hair. That hair. I said, is that Veda Loca? Crystal look at me. I'm talking to Crystal, and she looking at Veda Loca, and she kind of, hey, girl. You know what I'm saying? I'm kind of like, I'm still looking this way. Bitches is Veda Loca. Bitches her. And so I'm like, nah, don't make a scene. Crystal like, you know what I'm saying? Bitch, we still got to hey, Veda.
I heard magic.
I did that. I said, because Crystal, no, this is the other part of it. Because 2 days ago, you called me, and you was excited as a mother. You said, bitch, Veda, I own that 94.5. I did. Got on that 94.5. I said, what I'm going to do about my podcast? You got me locked. Congratulations. I might need to go get through because J-Rud and them told me what was going on. They said it was politics. So then, it's crazy. This is crazy. I told y'all this story. This was 2 days before we ran into this lady, bro. Yeah. So then we get to we pull up, we at Torches, we done seen her there, and I'm like, bitch, is Veda Loca? So Chris like, yeah, hey, Veda. I'm like,
and we spoke across the bar.
Yeah, we spoke, and I'm like, hey, Veda, hey, I'm so proud of you. I cried the whole time.
No, you didn't cry.
I cried when I got over there to you. I said, look, I was so proud. So Chris was like, you come to the podcast, and she was like, okay. No, she initiated it. She initiated it. Yeah, she initiated it, and I was like, you would do that? I'm being I had this is my first one. Oh no, we're doing it.
Period. Yeah, because what she said was, she just was like, she told me about wanting to be on the radio, told me about her businesses, about how she got turned down plenty of times to be on the radio, but when she got turned down, she made lots of money. Yeah, she created businesses, and she made lots of money, and she became who she was. Yeah. And she was like, now that I'm in this, and now that I'm successful, and now that I'm here, it's time for this, and I'm gonna do this because I'm not in this in a need aspect. I'm in this of a, it's just time. I'm just feeling it. And I was like, bitch, this gonna be your first one? I'm gonna be there. I said, I'm gonna be there.
That's an exclusive. She said, no, I'm gonna be there.
I'm gonna be there for support. Because you did something. Period. You did something. You was doing it. And then the way that you rolled for me, and you told me you called J.
Girl, no. I didn't call him. I called J. Rud. Baby. We went to Baby thing, and he was trying to come get him kid. Come on,
yeah, you were so mad.
You know how it is. No, I'm gonna say something. What got me? Because I don't think J. Rud, because me and J. Rud got a relationship from back in the day when my manager was the girl you was talking to, Tasha, and she had a connect. I already knew who this A Baby was before he was A Baby. So I was just kind of like, what you mean? Like, I'm good. Like, put me on. Like, put me in there. Let me freestyle. Let me go. Just let me go. I went to American Broadcasting School thinking I did something. Whatever. I went to American Broadcasting School. I thought they looking at me like that ain't accredited. But that's how they looking at me. But no, but Gary with a T was in back there. He Gary with a T with the broadcasting school. So I thought I had a, but they was looking at where I went as a joke. They like.
Yeah, let me tell you something.
So you don't have any journalism? They say you don't have any journalism. Like, I went to them. I'm steady trying to tell them. I'm like, but put me in the studio. Put me in, coach.
Just tag me.
Put me in, coach. But what God told me, it wasn't time.
Put yourself in.
Put yourself in.
Okay. That's that part.
And then, look what happens.
That's that part.
But so, we've been recording for a while.
Okay,
I really appreciate you coming out, Veda Loca.
Oh, wait a minute.
I want to say this, though, to you. Because I remember you telling me about Dee Dee. How she's your idol.
Well, yeah, because you asked me.
Because you're my idol. So I'm just like, I'm
mad. She was mad at the fact that I got let go.
Yes, very mad. Very upset.
Mad. And you
kept
asked
crying
me,
mad.
and you thought it was a conspiracy.
I did.
Against black women.
I did. No, cause, and then, hey, baby, was like, you're going a little too deep. He like, baby, nigga, he know he told me this. He was like, she gonna be fine. She gonna be fine. You just keep kicking them doors down. You gotta kick down.
Yeah.
And I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna do a podcast. Maybe and then I raised me. That's what he said. He said, let me tell you something. Veda Loca. He said that's a brand. She got sponsors. She got people that's backing her. She is fine. They had to tell me that she was there. They had to tell me. They were like, she is fine. And I'm like, oh, okay, I'll follow that Branson, though. They had me on that Branson.
But when we was in there, though, and you was like, and you came to me, and you was like, but she thought it was a stain against black women, like don't do black women like this.
I did.
She was like, why did they let you go? Like, what happened? Was it, a conspiracy? And I told her God did that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I told her I didn't. Nobody fired me. God let me go. I lost. That happened because
what did you say
I
you
was
were
not
doing?
serving my God the way that I was supposed to be.
Speak on it.
I was not a servant. I was sitting here in this position and I was not serving. I was not serving. I was going to work, coming home, drinking vodka, going to sleep, waking up, going back to work, coming home, drinking vodka, going to sleep, going to work, coming home. I was not serving my God. And I was not living in my purpose. And that is why I lost my morning show.
That's the part.
And that is the only. Nobody fired me. Nobody fired me. God.
She did, girl. She had to calm me down. I was slanging snot. Yeah, I got through it with baby. She was like, no, it's not that. She was like, this is her story.
Yeah. I said, God, show
How
me.
did you even feel? Did it take time for you to? Did
Oh,
you
I
automatically?
but you remember I told you she told me my birthday.
Right, she told
So
me.
you
She told me
already
a month
knew.
So
ago.
let me tell you what happened between then and when I let go. I went to therapy. I got my first time in my life. Well, not the first time. My parents took me to therapy when I was young, as a teenager.
But the first time you went for yourself.
As an adult, I went to therapy. I learned. Remember I told you my therapist got this wall? Remember I told you when I got fired?
Yeah.
I'm sorry. When I got I got transitioned?
Yeah.
I called my therapist.
Can you sign
I
the wall?
went to her office and we wrote all my emotions on the wall.
You did tell me that.
We wrote
You said you had a chalk wall. You were looking at me like, I'm there.
I said, we wrote everything I was feeling on the wall. It was relief. Because you see, after the GM told me that, I woke up every morning in fear. Because I didn't know what was going to happen.
Yeah.
Every morning I woke up from July 27th.
Yeah.
I was in fear. Constant fear. When I got let go, I was happy.
Wow.
That it was over.
At peace.
I was at peace.
I was the morning show, was it because do you feel like if you would have stayed in the afternoon?
No,
did they have anything to do with it? You wanted it because that's a big thing.
It's a path.
Morning radio is a big thing.
It's a path. I wanted mornings. And I got mornings. I wanted satellite radio. I got satellite radio. I wanted television. I got television. But I wasn't living in my purpose.
Yeah.
I had a lot. God gave me a lot. God gave me everything I asked for, and I did not serve. No, I did not serve. He gave me everything I asked for, and I did not serve.
That's why I told her every time that I stopped doing music, it was because I was on the brink of something, and I didn't know what I wanted to do with, like, because music is just the gateway. Like, you know, it's what I want to do to make money and, like, be out there and do stuff. But once I get the money, what do I want to do with that? What do I do with that money? How do I reinvest it? What do I offer other people?
What's your destiny?
What do I
What
offer
makes you happy?
And when I sat and I thought about
What's
it,
your purpose?
when I sat and I thought about it, it really messed me up because it was like the last time that I performed, like an actual show, it was for Erykah Badu.
Ooh.
Yeah, at the Bomb Factory.
Yes.
For her birthday.
Yes.
And we performed I was in a group and we performed a song together and like my song kept playing after that and they was like, go out there sing it.
Yes.
Get your ass out there. I was like, okay. And she loved it.
Yeah.
But when I got to that point, I was just like,
What's
where do
next?
I go?
What's next?
Who do I call after this? Who makes the decision? And it was just because I was so busy focused on like I wasn't focused. I wasn't doing what I had already been doing, like the preparation to stay like prepared.
Your subconscious mind took over.
Yeah.
Your subconscious mind took over, and that happens all the time.
RG.
I told RG report, goddamn.
I need all of this.
Yeah,
you need just everything.
But now, when I
RG.
sat down and wrote this shit down on paper, I wrote a bunch of stuff. I wrote that little circle and the bubbles and all this shit, but I wrote down what the definition of intention is, and then what my intentions are. You know what I'm saying? How I plan to like get shit. You know what I'm saying? To prepare for my intentions and like make these certain steps and moves and all that shit. And things just started falling into place. Like literally just
because
like
you have to move with intention.
Oh.
You have to move with intention.
Ooh.
That's why I was stagnant, because I wasn't moving with intention. I was just moving.
Yeah. With no goal, no path. And that's how
Walking the
that's how it goes for so long. When I was in, you know what though? Let me tell y'all something.
Come on, sleep.
Because when I was incarcerated, I saw this for me.
Period.
Nobody else did. All them motherfuckers told me I'd be back.
Ooh.
They do.
I went
Yeah.
back
They do.
as the rich
Wait
girl.
a minute.
I went back
She said I went back. I was
as the
like,
rich
did
girl.
ya?
You know what I'm saying? Just clap through that motherfucker. Don't play with me.
Yeah.
Don't play with me. Don't you ever tell me that I can't do something.
Well, you know what I see?
That is my whole thing. Don't you tell me I can't, like, don't
like
say,
that either.
I don't like for my man to say, you can't cook that, or, oh, you can't bounce that, you can't do that, you can't bounce the thing on the thing. Man, don't tell me what I can't do. But one thing about me, boom.
Go, Bessie. Hey. No, he don't tell you can't bounce that.
Don't you tell me. So one thing about me, one thing about don't you tell me stuff. I hate, that's my whole thing. Don't come to me and say, oh, Yellow, you can't pull off no podcast. You can't sell no hair. They told me that.
One thing.
It's people in here. And people,
Uh-huh.
oh, you can't do this. You can't have you can't sign an artist and drop her album in 6 months and own everything about the whole album and have your business straight. You can't get on the radio station. You can't be a rapper. You can't do none of that because you were a felon. You were a nobody. You come from nothing. You're gonna be nothing, and that's it, and that's all.
But when you constantly telling yourself,
hold on, they can't even remember when I was broke or when I didn't even have it going on. And there's been plenty of times. The thing is, you can't remember it because you couldn't see it.
period.
Because that's your vision.
Because you couldn't see it. Because this spirit rich. This spirit rich. I walk around with $20 in my looking just like this.
Like money, like gold.
And I bet you it's gonna be 20,000 in a week. Give me a week. I'm gonna make it happen, and I'm gonna make it happen without looking behind my back, without doing anything but giving grace to God, because He's gonna put it right there in my path. You ain't gotta move, Juanita. I told you to stop moving. You the one kept moving. When I stopped moving that day, and now you hit that corner, I said, "Put Crystal, go to Torches. Veda, can you do that? Yeah. No, I'm gonna do it. I ain't asked. Let me back that up.
Ask me.
Correct.
I didn't ask her.
Something put
She
on
volunteered to do
it.
I said, Veda, that's an exclusive.
No, I told
What
you.
do I get to deserve to have Veda Loca
Let me
on
help
my
you.
first podcast?
I told you it's going to be your exclusive.
Your
That's right.
exclusive.
Rich girls.
Rich
Rich
RG
girls.
shit.
RG is shit.
Real RG
But
business.
you know what I think? This is so amazing. This is happening right now
Go.
with
Go.
the people that I love.
Go. We on go.
The new friends that I've encountered that
Alignment.
changed my life.
Alignment.
Yeah.
Alignment.
I ride sometimes.
Watch.
I live in Addison.
Right.
I ride from here to Fort Worth, and I got a house in Fort Worth too, in a duplex over there. And I come every day, and I'm chasing this dream, and I'm going, and I'm telling my sisters, I pay my sister $500 a week, bro. Just so she can get her stuff. It's different things that go on in my life that I know God is going to set a path and He's going to make it happen because my heart is right. Why did I run into this lady? Why is she sitting here right now? And that's the exclusive with Veda Loca.
There. RG report.
That's a wrap. Thank you, Vera. That's a wrap.
Hit the likes, hit the follow.
Veda Loca, shout out 94.5. Tell them what about the house party.
Plug
About the house party. Veda Loca, 94.5. The house party. Stop playing with me. Last night I was doing all kind of dances. Last
Let me
night.
tell you
I
what.
said, turn it up, Veda.
I will shout this out. November 12th, I have my first podcast.
Period.
We
We
there.
tuning
Yeah.
in.
Everybody put it in
Turn it up.
We gotta
Yo,
be there.
so
Put it in your
November
goddamn
15th. Hold on,
calendar.
let me
November 12th. Let's get that
hold
scheduled.
on. No, it's November
Yeah, you gonna get up?
November 15th.
Okay.
November 15th, I
Where?
have my very first
RGE.
Gotta
podcast.
look out for that.
It's going to be a live podcast
Yeah.
with a live audience.
Okay.
Ooh, live audience.
Plug your
Tune
your
in the
social
audience.
media.
I know you gonna let
Yeah,
us.
it's going to be a live podcast on downtown Dallas.
Okay.
And my podcast is called Our Stories.
Okay. Okay.
Not history,
Okay.
but our
Our
stories.
story.
Where can they find you at, Veda, on all social media platforms? Come on.
You can find me at Veda Loca. Google me, nigga.
Oh, y'all heard it.
Veda
Heard it.
Loca. Hey,
Let me
I earned that.
Veda,
I earned that.
Let me
I
make you a
earned
win,
that
Veda.
brand. I earned that brand. Google me, nigga. I earned that.
We
Yeah,
gonna
you
go
earned that
Curly
brand,
Way.
I
nigga.
earned
You
that
earned that
brand.
brand. Okay, y'all.
Make
Well,
another Curly Way.
What time?
Okay. This is sewing, not a wig.
Okay.
Oh,
well,
what
we
time
gonna
is it
make
gonna
a
be?
Curly
What
Way.
time you gonna do it at?
Curly union.
My podcast on the 15th.
Yeah.
2:00.
let's make sure we get all the information for her podcast.
Yeah, it's 2:00.
So let's all take a picture. I want to take a
All
picture.
right. Everybody take a
get
picture around. We're
everybody.
gonna get around the cake and everything.
Okay, so listen, tune in next week. It's the RGE podcast. We were live today with Veda Loca. Sway not sway.
Sway, not sway. How?
I got the answers.
And this right here is the crew back here. Film the crew. They got the questions for everybody. And y'all make sure y'all tune in.
That's right.
And if you like our barcode sponsorship, let me go over my sponsors. I do have sponsors I need to talk about. Big Bang Media, Jay. Make sure you hit him up for any of your printing needs. If you need any clothing line started, anything you need to do, make sure you hit up Big Bang Media. Jazzy Lady Entertainment. That's another place you can hit up to get all your entertainment needs, CDs, press, businesses started, anything you need to do. Corey, want to shout out your business real quick?
Ownership. Y'all come out October the 18th from 2 to 7 for our grand opening, our Breast Cancer Awareness Month celebration, as well as a birthday celebration for me. Get it over to my birthday twin.
Hey.
Come out October 18th to celebrate my grand opening from 2 to 7. And it's my huge birthday party, first grand opening. I'm so excited, and we all excited to have you there.
Yes. Thank y'all so much. You have tuned in to the RGE report, and with that, we'll log out with our exclusive Veda Loca. Thank you so much. Everybody, shout out. Yes, crew, yes. And we with my sister B. Don't forget about my little sister. Congratulations. Thank everybody. This is my assistant Crystal. That's my sister Crystal, and we know this is Sway Not Sway, and this is the Rich Girl. And you were tuned in to the RGE report. Yes, we get the wrap. It's Let me say it. It's a wrap.